Good evening. My name is Ryan, and this is my discussion post for week 4. It's prompt, our wrap-up discussion asking us to develop a video that addresses at least 3 strategies or new ideas I found helpful in this course. I like to start by saying that we're also supposed to post a version of our learning map so that people can provide feedback on it so that the classmates can do that. And one of the things about this course, it has been one of my most provocative ones and ones that I've been wanting to engage in the most. And also I have been plagued with like the worst technology issues. My computer battery has died on me twice. It's back at the, down the hill at the repair shop. I won't get back till Friday, and all of my Word document assignments are on it, which is something that I have learned throughout this course, that we trust a lot of things to be auto-saved and backed up on a cloud, but we have to make sure we do that at every step. So that has been a valuable lesson for me right here at the end of my foundation classes for National University. I will be able to pick it up on Friday, and I'll have to upload one of my learning maps because I don't have a completed one right now that I have a version to. Maybe I could scan one. I do have a paper copy of my stage 1. Anyway, technology has been one of the biggest challenges and new ideas that I've gotten from all of these courses. In 608, specifically using technology to support diverse learning. I feel like every week there's been so much information that's been given to us. Specifically in this class, we talked about supports and assistance specifically for IEP students, 504, SEL needs, and assistive technologies, and aids and tools to help and or assist in educating our ELD or like our LPAC students and things like that. I found that all really, really useful. Some of which I knew, like in the diagnostic and assessment, and then also to serve the content either in class or for independent study. That was all just really informative to me. I feel like it helped develop my confidence as an educator, a future educator in lots of ways. Sometimes you walk into the classrooms and you see kids on stuff, but really going through that, through these modules, now I feel like I have a better understanding of what purposes they serve or what needs are being met through different technologies in the diverse learning community. A second strategy or new idea, clearly it was the learning map and that process that we're working through, really honing in on how we deal with subject-specific content and really massaging and exercising that language for like our learning objective, specifically getting into those nuts and bolts about performance, conditions, and criterion, kind of like breaking down that sentence structure of how to develop a good learning objective. I really appreciate that. Sometimes I get like performance anxiety to write those lesson plans, which is kind of what our learning map is, and get that outline cleared out. And that I really feel like this exercise, again, I've had a lot of classroom experience over several years, but I feel like this was a missing step in my confidence level that this module 608 has really helped me close. And then a third thing I would talk about is Sim School. I really appreciate our last collaborative meeting that we had, and the National University representative that came and talked to us about Sim School. I also did really appreciate the co-teaching exercise that we did. One thing I'd like to say about it is, I feel like saying clearly it would have been nice to have all of those things more at like the 600 or 604 course to be able to have those front loaded in. There was a lot of information that I don't feel I was ever given or in a digestible way where like you could read it. We watched a couple of videos our first time in sim school, but I really don't remember where they explicitly broke down what the color of the orbs and the circles were, or different things like that. I remember hearing people say things that they were discovering clear here at 608 that I also felt like, yeah, where was that? How are we supposed to figure that out? That being said, I also know I tell my students all the time when they keep on asking questions or, well, what do you do? How do you do about this? And I say, you really learn a lot through struggling through something and through just learning it on your own. And especially when we fail, that's how we discover things that are going to store in our long-term memory. And ultimately, I do kind of feel like that's what the sim school experience was, and especially where it is simulations and there aren't real life students being impacted. I'm happy with the experience for how it was, and for me to be able to get that in-field learning experience where I don't feel like there was as much front-loaded to me as there was reflectively concluded at the end of our sim school experience. I feel like I had a much clearer understanding handed to me than it was in the beginning, and ultimately I think I'm okay with that. And so sometimes it's good to really put on the student's shoes and just go and discover, especially as barely a millennial, when we are educating a Gen Z digitally affluent, first language digital student body. And, it was kind of nice to essentially just be thrown into something and discover it from the ground up, which is kind of what I feel happened. So those are my reflections.